You're listening to Kayak Flyer with your host, Sean. Tonight, we're brought to you by Tennessee Trailers, OutdoorAdventureTrailers.com. Simply the best way to get your kayak to and from the water. Bejuco Flats Fly Co. Simply the best custom-made fly rods on the market, always built to order just the way you want it. Find Bejuco Flats Fly Co. on Instagram and Facebook. StoneflyNets.com, made 100% in the great state of Arkansas with your choice of woods or burls. Stonefly nets can even be customized for that favorite fisher person in your life. Check out StoneflyNets.com for details. CutthroatFurledLeaders.com, the only leaders that I fish with. Cutthroat Furled Leaders are excellent for saltwater, freshwater, trout, bass, you name it, you can catch it with a Cutthroat Furled Leader. Head to CutthroatFurledLeaders.com, promo code Kayak to save 15%. You know, Adam, you know I love fly
Whatever,
tires,
man.
don't you? Here, Pablo already talking. Like, oh, we're going to start the show. No, Pablo's already talking. Pablo's with us tonight, if you guys didn't know. Pablo, Bejuco Flats Fly Co. He's really, you know,
And the delay is too bad.
I get sponsors that are like, hey, let me send you free products. And then they're like, hey, let me give you money. Pablo's like, I'll send you like some money, but you got to buy your products. And let me tell you what, it's the best decision I made. That one weight fly rod is friggin' incredible. And we're going to talk about it in a minute. But first, Adam and Pablo, both of you, you both know how much I love Fly Tires Dungeon. And while they're not a sponsor, they are a friend of the show. So we get occasionally a care package from these guys. Wonderful stuff. I bought some of the Loon Outdoors bench rings. It took me like 2 hours to punch all the holes with a paper cutter in those zippy bags for the dubbing and the Congo hair and the big game hair and everything else. The scud backs, because it's not scud backs, they're bug backs. Took me forever, and I've got all these set up, and now I can hang them up. And like, if I want to do a scud, I have the Simply Scud dubbing and the bug backs all together. I've got my big game dubbing and my legs all together, and I can just, whenever my wife gets mad at me for having a mess, I can just go and put those away, and it is amazing. It's amazing, but. Yeah. I absolutely love Fly Tires Dungeon, and big news, everybody, when this drops, when this is out live, Dooley's Fly Shop is going to give you 15% off, and guess what he's selling, Adam?
I don't know. Hit me, man.
Fly Tires Dungeon.
Yeah, I thought that's where this was going.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you're like me and you go and you want to buy a bunch of stuff for scuds or anything at all, if you want to buy a bunch of stuff and then you're like, I need hooks, I need bead eyes. And hooks, maybe, we can't talk about that, can we? We can't talk about those hooks yet.
On the down low.
Yeah, it's on the down low. But if you're going to go and you want to buy from one place, you can go to Dooley's Fly Shop, promo code Kayak to save 15%. You can get your Fly Tires Dungeon stuff from there and order your hooks and everything else. So, Pablo, yeah. I know you're a huge FTD guy. Right, Pablo? Did we lose Pablo already?
I think. Hold on, wait for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Without him, I wouldn't. Can you hear me?
We can barely hear you, buddy.
I'm here.
Yeah. I think we've got some Puerto Rican drag here.
The delay
is real. Yeah.
Yeah. You got a bad delay.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to pocket this into a audio only? I can flip over and we can do audio only if you want to do that. If your delay is going to be rough.
We might have to. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the delay is killing. We can see him typing. But
yeah.
Yeah, we may have to
Ask a
pocket
question, insert waiting music, and then get the reply.
Yeah, we may have to. We may very well have to flip over and do an audio podcast only with Pablo. While he's on here, he can interject if you and I, Adam, want to do a show while we're here.
I'll leave that up to him, man. He's the one that's got to deal with us and then try to chime in and get a word in edgewise.
Oh, now we see him. His video's good now. I'm just gonna say this. I bought a one-weight fly rod.
Yeah, but
Go ahead. I bought a one-weight fly rod from Pablo. I had to pay for it. Don't think podcasting's all that milk and honey. And
they're bad.
yeah, this is a train wreck of Pablo being.
Of course,
You got to move to America. That 51st state stuff. You ain't doing that till you get internet, buddy.
I live in America, man. I live in the best part of America.
Oh, notice we start talking about politics. He comes back in.
No.
All of a sudden, the delay's gone.
Yeah. That's what it is, man.
But no, I took that fly rod to my buddy's house, and what happened the next day? Pablo.
Yeah.
He ordered one. I mean, that was amazing.
Oh, he called me. Yeah, he ordered one. It's on the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah. Immediately.
He's totally stoked.
I'm
about
very,
it.
very grateful for that.
Yeah.
There's Missouri State. Adam, you're more than welcome to do this with us. Okay, Pablo, if you want to fly up for a fishing season, you're more than welcome as well. But Missouri has a blue ribbon trout, where if you catch one trout out of 9 rivers, you get a silver or you get a gold. If you catch, I think it's 7 out of 7 rivers, you get a gold, and 5 out of 5 is a bronze. And the conservation department does it. And we're doing full videos the entire time, and both of us with 2 action cameras on us, and we're using a Bejuco Flats Fly Rod, both of us, for this video.
Are you rocking the one weight for that? Because that would be just gnarly.
We are rocking the one weight hardcore, and because of his position, we're going to put it up for an outdoor Emmy.
Oh, fun. That's awesome, man.
So this could be the Emmy award-winning podcast with video.
That doesn't even make any sense. But I can't even
I better order some blanks because I think
there's no thinking about it. If this goes through,
I
Pablo,
may need to order some more blanks just in case.
If this goes through, your business is gonna be through the roof, because it's like, you've got my name on mine, the kayak flyer on mine, because this is a great thing about Pablo. He can put any name you want on there. Amy wanted me to put my wife Amy. She wanted me to put Amy's fly rod that Sean occasionally borrows, but then Pablo was like, "No, that's entirely too much money."
That's great.
Yeah, it's long of a label. I will do that.
Yeah, and I cannot figure out how to get this mouse out of the occasional video that we've got, because we've got those of you that were listening to us on Facebook Live, we're now pre-recording so we can get guests like Pablo, who timing is an issue, and we had one guy that was in an automobile accident. He couldn't make it on, and we had to go black for a week. So many things. So we're recording the podcast now, but if you want to leave a message for us, email us at kayakflyer@gmail.com, and we'll answer your questions. But especially with Pablo, we'll get Pablo to answer your questions for you. But the thing about having the podcast and doing the video is sometimes we can show some things that we can't normally see, and we can also drop video in. So Pablo's going to send some really nice pictures. If you don't follow him on Instagram or Facebook, it's Bejuco Flats Fly Co. We're going to put up some photos in this video as we talk on YouTube and on Facebook. Well, it's actually on YouTube because we can't upload like an hour and a half onto Facebook. Anyway, we're going to put some photos in here of some of Pablo's fly rods, because he's just done an amazing job. And I know Adam's been racking in that fat bank from not having to drive to work, and he's going to buy a fly rod.
Yeah, buddy. It's on the list, man. That's not true. I can't expense mileage anymore. There's nothing. There's no driving to expense. That's one of the drawbacks, I guess. I'm curious, Pablo, if my question gets to you
That's
without
right.
too much of a delay. I mean, you've made this huge shift in really diving into the making the custom rods. What is your fly shop looking like? Is it still are you still producing as many flies as you once were, or have you really made that switch to the rods as the full time Bejuco Flats Fly Company flagship product?
Wait for it.
Yeah, I still sell flies on eBay. I'm here. I'm here. I still sell flies on eBay. I cut down on the offerings. I sell a little bit less flies than before because the rod building business it's skyrocketing. This is crazy. I started Matt from Proof Fly Fishing told me you got no idea how big the market is for custom rods, and it's been crazy, crazy. It's the waiting list is never below 12 rods. I always have 12 rods in line to build, always trying to play catch up, and it's hard. I wrap rods from 3 a.m. 6 or 7 in the mornings on Tuesday. I mean, Saturdays and Sundays. I spend a couple hours doing anything that requires noise, like drilling and things like that, or use of the lathe to turn cork. But I do most of my work before I start working
So
because after I get out of work, I don't like to work on the business.
how does the cat handle the lathe? Because I know you've got that precious cat that you've got her own bedroom that you said Adam and I could stay in when we came to visit.
Oh yeah, the lathe is in the backyard, right behind the cat's room, so he watches me from the window. Every time I'm turning corn, he sees the chips flying around, and he just tries to catch them through the screen.
You
He's
gotta love
taking safety precautions. He moves to the other room, but so he can
Do that in the
stealth watch.
backyard, so I won't do a mess in the.
you gotta love a guy who
Yeah,
says
absolutely. I have goggles for him and everything.
you gotta love a guy who says, I'll invite you to stay at my house, but you gotta sleep in my cat's room.
Right. That's the level of hierarchy that you are currently at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And clean. Exactly.
Does
Yeah,
that does
and you
that
have
mean
to fight for the highest spot on the towers.
does that mean I get to mark my territory? Can the cat and I get into a fight
You
over
can
marking territory?
you can give it a shot. I don't think you'll be very lucky. They will mark you before you do that.
You're outgunned, John.
Yeah. Hey, watch out for the cat.
I
You
think
might
they
get
will mark you.
yeah, you might get marked. You don't wear red pants
Yeah,
around
yeah,
Pablo's cat.
Oh,
Think it's your fire hydrant.
yeah,
oh man.
Pablo,
yeah. You don't do that.
for
Yeah,
all
yeah.
you
You
guys
don't
have
do
listened to
that.
the intro and everything else, Pablo's a great supporter of the show. One of the founders to help us get this show going. He found the show just like many of you guys did, and he loved it. And well, he occasionally loves it until he comes on and we're mean to him like this. But Pablo is a great guy.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, I don't think you guys understand that you pick up the phone and you call Pablo and you tell him what you want. And I'm not special in Pablo's eyes. Maybe I may be special, but I'm not. I don't get any
Not that
special treat.
special.
Yeah, that's special. But like the one you built me, you asked me what color thread I wanted and how I wanted my guides. And dude, I've landed bigger fish with that rod than I ever intended to catch with it. And it's just amazing. And I know you do great
Yeah,
work.
yeah. That happens. Thank you. it's a work in progress. I try to do the best I can. I still consider myself a newbie after 100 plus rods. Each rod has its own challenges, but there's two things. I have a very simple quality. My, I'm obsessed about my customers. They will get everything they want and happy the rod. If they are not, I will refund you every single penny.
Yeah, you've got a great.
No questions asked.
Yeah, you've
If
got it.
we
Go ahead. Your refund, if somebody doesn't like what they've got, you refund it. But the really exciting thing is
it's
now.
no, yeah,
The really exciting thing now is you're offering, and it's one of my favorite rod companies is TFO, and you still get the TFO warranty on the rods that you build, and that's amazing.
yeah,
And the mangrove, the TFO
yeah,
mangrove
and
rods,
not only all the major builders, yeah,
and you're building
BBK,
sages. Yeah. BVKs. I love the BVKs.
the professional series,
Mm-hmm. I mean, those if you've not casted a BVK by TFO, save your money on a
and
sage.
the good thing is all these.
I know there's a delay here, so the audience is gonna have to understand that a little bit. But the BVK I would put up against the sage any day of the week. How about you? And I'll be quiet for a minute so you can get the delay through.
I haven't thrown a sage myself. I have used the TFOs, and all the rods I've used from them are great rods. And the good thing about these big rod companies that sell blanks, they all honor the warranty.
Yeah.
The TFO will give you warranty on blank, and I guarantee I follow the warranty they give on the blank life. If you fee anything happens to your rod, no questions asked. You have it repaired by me. Same goes for Sage, Epic, Moonlit, everyone that Patson that gives you a lifetime warranty. You get that with me too. The only thing is you get to choose your components on your rod, and it's there's no two rods that are the same. I was a bit concerned when your friend called me and said, I want the same rod as Sean. I said, you sure? Yeah, I want the same rod. Are you sure? Yes, I want the same rod. Okay. I want to change it a little bit because I don't build two rods the same.
Yeah. Well, he was
Never.
wanting the same.
I haven't built two rods exactly the same.
He wanted the same colors, and he wanted my podcast name on there. He wanted the Kayak Flyer name on there because we talked about that, you know. But he loved the way it cast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
yeah.
And
it was so similar. I said, okay, I'm gonna put Kayak Flyer on it.
Yeah. But he wanted the same colors. I mean, he looked at my rod and he fell in love with it. I mean, there was nothing to it. And when we get Adam out on the trout water with it, yeah, Adam's going to fall in love with it.
I'm sure I will. Yeah, you bet. Yeah, the smallest rod I have is a 5-weight. So the idea of a 1-weight is just kind of mind blowing. I can't imagine what it's like to toss that.
Dude, it's awesome.
I bet. Yeah, I bet.
And then I have a BVK.
When you get a big trout at the other end.
I don't catch big trout.
At least he's honest.
You got to talk to a better fisherman catching big trout.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Grant was so excited, and I feel like a schlub. Grant was so excited after he ordered that fly rod from you. He and I matching BVK reels from TFO, so that our rods, everything but the name, the same color, everything.
That's too funny.
I know, and it's like we're total nerds out on this. I mean, it's like, and I'm like, dude, you didn't need to spend that
I'm not
much
gonna wrap
money,
it the same,
for a gift. I'm like, and then I found out what Pablo charged him versus me, and I'm like, oh man.
And now it's out there. Hey, this is cute, Sean. Just so you guys like dress the same too when you go out fishing together.
We will. We'll wear the same Orvis waders with the same Orvis shirt, the same Patagonia hat.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh
I
my
just want to make
God.
sure you're doing this right.
Oh, if we're gonna be twinsies,
Too manly for me. That's way too manly for me.
But I think this is going to be a great adventure this summer, and the only way that it's better is now that we have Pablo's rods. I mean, honestly, this is going to be an awesome trip. We've got, and we may or may not have convinced Mike from Cutthroat Leaders to make specialized one-weight leaders for us.
No kidding.
That's on the DL. We shouldn't
Not
talk
anymore.
about that.
Oh, nice.
Mike is making very special one-weight leaders just for us. He's
Not
gonna make
anymore.
6
It's out
of
in the
them.
wild now.
Oh, this whole one-weight thing may become.
Nice.
If I could do it, I would make this whole one-weight thing for panfish and stuff just become something, you know. And I told Mike, and I'm like, yeah, I got a problem. He's like, what? I'm like, dude. And he's like, give me a couple of weeks. I'll send you 6. I'm like, yes. So, Pablo, we may have some, and I know I think he's talked, have you talked to Mike? Mike told me he was cool with you, with sending you leaders to send out with your fly rods.
No.
Have you not talked to him? Did you not call him on the phone?
Oh, that's nice. I need to talk to him. No.
All right. I'll make sure I'll give you his phone number again, but he's
No,
cool with,
not yet.
He's cool with you getting a discount price on leaders to mail out with your fly rods. So
Nice.
yeah, I mean, this is awesome.
That's really nice.
If we can
That's really nice. Appreciate that.
Yeah, bringing people together is what Kayak Flyer's about.
Yeah.
And that's what we like to do. And
Yeah.
if Mike's going to wind up making some of these one-weight leaders, I'm like, oh. Now, you just got to get Adam to buy a one-weight fly rod. Pablo, work on it. Give him the hard sell.
Yeah. I won't even know what to do with them. I put a saltwater leader on everything.
Yeah, but you know, peacock bass on a one-weight might be fun.
That seems crazy.
They are.
On a one weight?
Uh-huh.
No, they are fun.
It's not.
Again, yeah, they're fun for
I
sure.
catch them on my 0 weight.
Yeah.
0 weight.
Yeah. Tell you, it's not the size of the fish.
That one I don't sell, but I build one for myself.
Yeah. And I've said this a lot. It's not the size of the fish. Because if you catch a trout, a normal trout on a 7 weight, there's nothing to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now you're going down to Cotter, you're going down to Spring River, you're going out to Norfolk, you're going out to some of these places with, you know, big trout. That's a 7 weight, yeah. But you're catching trout around where we are here in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
A 7 weight's like, yep, lift it up and put it in the net.
Right.
But you drop down to a 1 weight and you catch a stalker.
Okay.
Woo-hoo! And if you use barbless hooks, or I got my wife, my wonderful wife got me this tool for Christmas that I put the hook. It's got a hook on it. I put the hook in the hook, and then I squeeze it, and it just pulls the hook right out. And I don't even have to take the trout out of the net.
Yeah.
I'm using that stonefly net. The way he makes those are not. It's a I don't know. It's a rubbery
nice
kind of net. And,
yeah, it's got like the silicone or the rubber mesh to it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's great. We gotta get you a stonefly net, Adam. We gotta do that. We gotta work that into the next deal to get you a stonefly net.
Yeah, I think that's something we should absolutely work on.
I think we should get a Kayak Flyer logo net.
Ooh,
and
that's
sell,
good.
and we can sell those for like
You better.
For like double what they cost.
Yeah. Put it on like the fishing black market. Just don't tell them.
Exactly. We order them for cost, and we sell them for double.
In it for the money.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
But Pablo, you do a lot of fishing down there, and I know Jorge does a lot of fishing down there, and you're starting to sell spinning rods.
Oh yeah.
How is that working out? And what kind of a change is that on rod building? Because you've really shifted. I mean, when you came on, you were flies, and your flies are killer. I've caught a lot of fish on your flies. And then all of a sudden you go into rod building and you just are gung ho on this and doing a fantastic job. Like I said, you got a 12 rod minimum waiting list. This has got to be fun to have a company that is so
Yeah.
productive.
Oh yes. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of long hours, but it's a lot of fun. It's very satisfactory when you get the pictures back, people catching the fish with them, and all over the world. I have ship routes to Japan, Spain, Cayman Islands.
Wow.
So it's amazing, and of course in the States. But it's amazing. It's a great experience, and mm, a, a, an important part of it is the relationship we develop with the suppliers. There's are a lot of suppliers out there that care about small shops like mine. I just build 100 rods in a year, and they don't care you're a small guy as long as you have your government stuff set up correctly. They will give you dealer prices and work with you and help you stay in business, and that's great.
Yeah. I mean, that is awesome. And the TFO was in my, and I know there's some Sage guys out there, and hey, man, Sage are nice rods. I'm not going to knock a Sage. I own one rod from Pablo, and that's my only non TFO rod.
Mm-hmm.
And I love TFO, and I'm not knocking them by any means or stretch of the
Yeah.
imagination. But if I were going to go to Bass Pro or Cabela's or John Hardy's fly shop and buy a TFO rod, why wouldn't I just pay the same exact price? Because Pablo sells them all at the exact same retail price. Why wouldn't I get it with the color thread I wanted or
Yep.
the guides I wanted? I mean, this is a game changer in my opinion, because I had one of my former students. He wants a rod, and I said, "Well, you can pay this much for a rod, or you can call Pablo." And he goes, "Well, who's Pablo?" I said, "Well, this, Pablo from Bejuco Flats." Oh. I said, "You can get a rod with whatever colors you want on it and have your name put on it. And you can, all these things you can do." I said, "And you're walking out just like you'd walk out from the store." And Pablo, you now have a deal with Cheeky Reels that maybe you want to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. There for Tiki reels. They are amazing reels. They have a, a whole range of reels from free level to Marlin type reels. They're a great company, excellent support. Look them up on the web. Their reviews speaks from themselves. And I'm adding some reels to my combos, so you can buy a rod and also get a reel. If you buy a reel from me, a cheeky reel from me, you get a 10% discount on the bill. I cannot discount the reel. I have an agreement with them. The price is same. You a little discount on that, and you'll get a better deal than you will get anywhere else.
Yeah. I mean, a 10% discount on the reel is nothing compared to the 10% discount on the combo. I mean, that speaks for itself.
Mm-hmm.
And those cheeky
Yeah,
reels,
yeah, yeah.
I know guys that have them. Those are no joke. I mean, have you seen those, Adam?
No, I'm not familiar
Yeah,
with those.
absolutely.
Yeah. Cheeky reels are no joke. And they even make, and they're not a sponsor of the show, which I'd love to get somebody from Cheeky on, but you can buy a pack that you have a reel that goes from like 4 to 8, and they sell different
Hmm.
spools. So you can line
Oh,
up like a 4, a 6, and an 8, and you just change spools. Or you can
okay.
have sinking line. If you're not using a sinking tippet, you can change your lines out.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got some really innovative stuff. Would love to get them on the podcast. Hint.
Yeah, that's
hint.
pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that concept
Yeah.
a lot. It
Yeah.
makes a lot easier
Yeah.
to fish a bunch of different types.
That's something that can be worked on.
Yeah, Adam and I both need a cheeky reel. If you could have any help with that, Pablo. Pablo's all about giving the discount that's not his.
I bet he is. Yeah.
Oh,
No. I cannot give you a discount the reel. I can discount the rods, never the reel.
He's holding strong, Sean.
he's holding strong. I tell you what, but he's a stand-up guy. I mean, he's a stand-up guy.
Oh yeah, man.
He stands up behind his product. He stands up here with
It is
us.
what it is, man.
He lets us Americans harass the hell out of him.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord! I tell you what. And one of the interesting things, Pablo, that
I'm
most people,
American too, man. I just mix it. The thing.
one of the things a lot of people don't know. I mean, you're a very
Whether I like it or not, by the way.
but you're a very successful man, and I don't think people understand that you're making a ton of money off a hobby because you're a very successful man, and you've wound up fishing all over the United States due to your job.
Yeah, I had a nearby day road builder pre-done. So I have a chance to travel to 26, 27 states already.
Yeah, it's always
So
amazing.
most of it because of my job. I haven't had a chance to travel this year.
No, yeah. You're not alone there.
This year is crazy, so no travel for. No.
Yeah.
It's I think it's the first time since 2006 that I don't travel.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a good length of time.
Yeah. And I mean, you're not a guy who, I don't know how I say this. I'm trying not to kiss your ass so much that's over the top.
It's very apparent.
Is it? I'll let you take over, Adam.
Please don't.
But I mean, you're a successful man, and you started this stuff as a hobby, and you've fallen in love with it. And I know people. Like, we had Andrew Montgomery on last week, and Andrew just loves guiding. He absolutely loves it. It's his passion. And you sort of found the fly tying and then into rod building, and it's just blown you away with how much you enjoy it. How would you talk to somebody like Adam,
Absolutely.
at a job that he hates? And just, he's hiding in the garage right now, trying to get away. How would you convince somebody that they could start their own business, not to compete with you, obviously, but if they wanted to tie like ice fishing lures, how would you talk them into that?
Man, first things first, all competition is welcome. There's market for everyone. That's I don't have an issue with that. Anybody wants to sell rods, I can guide them and tell them, hey, this is how you should do it. That's the thing. I'm an engineer. My job right now is a desk job. I sit the whole day in front of a computer. But I'm a very hands-on guy. So rod building and fly tying are my creative outlets. That's how I engage my mind in something that is manual and distracts me from all the other stuff I have to do and think and worry about during the day. So it was an accident, the rod building thing. I had a fall off with a supplier when I was buying my pre-made rods, and I said, hey, what to do this is if I do my own rods. So I ordered a kit, I put my first rod together. When I started putting the second rod together, I posted pictures of the second rod. Hey guys, I built this rod for me. The guy said, I want it, I'm gonna buy it. What? Yeah, I wanna buy it. Okay, I'll sell it to you. I figured out a price and take it. Then almost immediately, another local guy said, "Hey, I want you to build me a rod. I want a custom one." Okay, this is the price. And this is before I got like a whole network of suppliers or materials or options. My options were limited. It was just the third rod I built, and it grew from there. Every rod I built, wanted to build. I was looking forward to the next one, and that's how it evolved into more than fly fishing. Now I build rods for anything. I build boat rods, commercial rods, tuna rods, spinning, ultralights, anything. As long as you give me the specs, I'll build it.
And that's absolutely amazing. And the best thing is, and I think Adam will agree with me on this, where's the better place to fish than Puerto Rico? I mean, Adam, you've been on here with Angel and
What's the better
Jorge
place?
and these guys. Where else is better than Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Billfish, peacock bass, bonefish.
We have everything here.
Yeah, everything but redfish.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Pablo already invited us to stay with these cat.
Yeah, everything but fish. And trout.
No trout. No sea trout. No.
Yeah.
You don't have sea trout down there?
The cat B&B.
You don't have
No, we don't have sea trout, nor freshwater trout either.
Yeah, I thought maybe you would have. You don't have sea trout. That surprises me. I guess they stay on the Gulf line from the U.S. down.
That's cold water.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's cold water fish. They don't come down this far.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Sean.
But we have jacks.
And this might be
and those are fun to catch on the fly rod. Those are really fun to catch.
Yeah, jacks are neat. Go ahead, Adam.
I was just gonna ask, and this could parallel into fishing down with Pablo, but I just bought my first kayak, and I know you're a kayak fisherman, and I have yet to take mine out. So when you're out fishing the Missouri rivers and whatnot, you have, I guess, specific rod that you enjoy to throw depending upon the type of water. And then I guess my second question would go to Pablo is, are there any sorts of rivers or streams, in Puerto Rico that you go fish, or is everything out towards the ocean?
Okay, I'll field my first part.
No, I fish.
Go ahead, Pablo. Go ahead, Pablo.
No, you go ahead. The delay is killing me.
That's that Puerto Rican internet.
Yeah, man.
You can't be the 51st state with that delay. Waiting on him.
That's what I tell the pro statehood people here. They don't listen.
But you've got,
oh man,
Pablo, go ahead and you field that question. You've got more than just saltwater. You've got the peacock bass and several other species down there.
Oh yeah, we have rivers. You can fish for mountain mullets, for example. That's the closest thing we have to a trout. So mountain fish. You can wade in the rivers here. We have lakes where you can get largemouth, tilapia, peacock bass, and those are good for kayak. I have a bunch of friends that go kayaking for peacock bass, and there are spots where they get one after the other, one after another, and it's just great. Mm-hmm. And in the ocean, we tend to fish towards where the river meets the ocean for snooks, tarpon, things like that. And that's where you can get some snappers, jacks, bonefish, whatever. So in the island, there's I think I explained that before. The ocean is calm in one part of the island half the year, and it's rough the other half. Right now, where I live is in the north. It's rough, but the south is very calm. So if you want to go out and in the kayak and stay close to shore, say less than half a mile, you can get a bunch of different species from the kayak.
Yeah.
Very
And
cool.
yeah, and
Or you can even jig. You don't even need to fly fish.
Mm-hmm.
the thing about for anybody that doesn't know, Puerto Rico, you don't need a passport. You don't need to exchange money. You can go on Airbnb and book it. And Puerto Rico is a great place to go. We're looking at a trip this summer. Hopefully, we're going to work it out. We've got to get Pablo to pony up a bunch more money on the sponsorship for me to come down there, so I don't have to sleep with the cat. But But here in Missouri, and I would even say Arkansas, Oklahoma, most of Illinois, I prefer to fly fish with a 4 weight. Um, if I'm on a lake, a 6 weight, if it's largemouth that are going to be out there in warm water lakes. Uh, and then in the summertime, a 1 weight. In the heat of the summer, that 1 weight is going to be my go to rod. I've used my 2 weight before with 2 tandem squirmy worms and catching panfish 2 at a time. And you're seeing them swim around one another, and then you've got a knot on the end of your tippet, and it's a pain. And so that was one of the things with the 1 weight was when nothing is biting in the heat of August, panfish are.
Yeah.
And you can still kayak through that water, and you can still
Yeah.
hit them. And it's, when you're going out to these, and I haven't been to a lot of other states. I know Oklahoma has stocker trout. I know Arkansas has stocker trout. I'm pretty sure Illinois has stocker trout. I know Kentucky and Tennessee have stocker trout. But anything less than 18 inches, and especially if you're going to keep it. If you're out to keep fish, you don't have to worry about the 1 weight. If you're going to take the 1 weight to keep fish, you need to have a good net that's like the stonefly nets that are like the rubber or silicone, so it doesn't rub them raw. And you need to have a barbless hook or a tool to take the hook out of their mouth, so you don't have to take the fish out of the water. Because once you pull that fish out of the water after that fight, that's where it gets kind of not. But if you're fishing with a barbed hook with a 6 weight and you pull it out of the water and you don't handle it right, it's still the same way.
Yeah.
But it takes a 5-minute fight to a 15-minute fight where you just let them swim around and you just sort of figure eight them like you would a muskie. You know what I mean? It's all on how you like the fish and why you like the fish.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, depending upon what the outcome is, whether that's just the pure joy of it, or if your outcome is to truly catch and keep, and that's what you're planning on doing from the beginning, then those are two different approaches. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't have a problem. I don't feel any. I've never let a barbless hook fish go this year in the trout pond and not had it swim off. I've had several on my 4-weight with a barbed hook where I had to pick them up and grab hemostats and pop the hook out that went belly up and then swam off a little bit later or may not have swam off.
Yeah.
So I don't see the 1-weight rod being, I actually see it being better because I'm playing them longer. I'm not horsing them. And again, like, whether you agree with squirmy worms or mop flies or whatever else, everybody has their opinion. But I know every trout I have released this year on my 1-weight has just turned over and rolled off.
Yeah.
But I've been using barbless hooks, which we all know I hate. And it's just worked out really nicely.
Well, with fishing the 1-weight too, you're probably a lot more mindful of it up front, knowing that the fight that's ensuing right now is taking more of a toll because it's just that much more difficult to get that fish in, which is part of the fun, right? Like
Right.
As an angler, but also being aware of it ahead of time goes a long way.
I'll let them run me down. I'll let them run out, and then I'll slowly coach them in. And it's more fun that way. There's no bend in the rod until they get within like 3 foot of the bank. I'm playing that fish, and letting it be along, and it's cruising along, and then I'll strip in a little bit. And it's really easy on the fish, I think, as opposed to a 4-weight where it's like, whoop, straight up, set that hook, and it's really difficult. But
Yeah.
I know we're not just sitting here talking about the 1-weight fly rod, but
Uh,
go ahead.
For me, it's a whole different approach. Even though I rarely use my 6-weight, I mostly use my 4, 2, or the 0.
Mhm.
I use it when I'm going after big tarpon only. And as a local ultralight fisherman said, you need to show them who boss, regardless of the rod. So if you hook on a tarpon and you have a light rod, you better put pressure on them, like really fast.
Yeah.
Don't let them run. Okay, you let them run, but you have to put force on them because they won't stop. Same goes for fish. You want to stop a bonefish, small bonefish, with the 1-weight, 0-weight, the pressure starts the moment you let hook. You bend that rod and put pressure on them like there's no tomorrow. Forget about the rod breaking. Forget it's a 1-weight. Put pressure, and they will stop. Otherwise, they will spool you.
Yeah.
A bonefish can spool you if you don't. You're besides reel. It's difficult. Here we don't play games with them. We set the hook. We put pressure immediately.
That's the difference in salt and fresh, though. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
And it's the difference in river fish and lake fish. Lake fish are totally different than river fish.
Yeah.
And Adam, you just went fishing the other day. You had some river trout on.
Yeah, I did. But you're right. Even the stalker river trout, it's a different game. I mean, they're a lot more sensitive to whatever you're doing in terms of playing them or whatnot. But you get out there and go bass fishing in a local pond, a local lake. You can horse those things in all day long, and they're gonna kick off swimming, no big deal. So, but I can't imagine the difference, fishing saltwater, whether it's down in Puerto Rico or anywhere else. That's a whole different ball game. And to Pablo's point, you kind of gotta establish your ground quick, otherwise they're just gonna take off, and you're just not gonna stand a chance.
As we say here in Missouri, you gotta pee above the snow line with those. You have to establish dominance.
I'm curious now. How are lake fish different from river fish over there?
Our lake fish, and I think Adam will agree with me, our lake fish, I did not get this thing set up right, so I keep popping up in the video, my mouse moving for the adjustments on the microphones. Our lake fish are really lazy.
Mm-hmm.
Our rivers that we have here are really strong rivers, pushing a lot of cubic inches. And so you can catch a largemouth bass. And it's going to be skinny as all get out in a river. But you go to a lake and you get one the same inches and it weighs like 2 pounds more.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll have a big old belly on them. And depending upon, what region you're in the States or whatnot. But yeah, lazy's a good way to put it. Hardy fish in the still water.
Yeah, and then in the fresh in the rivers and streams, they're swimming against the current their entire life, and they're slim, but they're strong, and they wake up mad and they get angrier all day long.
Right.
There's no such thing in Missouri as a happy river fish.
Yeah, that's funny.
One of the things One of the things I'm thinking about doing this summer is gar fishing. This is a huge deal now. And
really?
Yeah, and gar are supposed to be just, you don't even use a hook.
Yeah.
Because of their teeth. And I'm sitting there going, I don't know if I want to sit here and pull that string out of their teeth.
Nope. Cut and run, buddy. Cut and run. I want no part of that. Yeah.
Those are some mean fish. Gar, Gar. You guys don't have them down there. These are some. Look these up, like
They
alligator
get
gar.
huge too.
especially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no hook.
Alligator.
I know.
Alligator gar. They're like a
I've seen
dinosaur
them.
fish.
Mhm. Yeah, they got these really long beaks, right? Like
Yeah.
long beaks.
Yeah.
And just full of teeth.
And
Yeah.
then you've got some that are really pointy, and then the alligator gar are really
Yeah,
wide.
I've seen them. I've been. Yeah.
You need to come up here,
I-
Pablo, this summer. We'll catch those, then we'll all go stay at your house for a week.
My God. And no hook.
They're you can eat them. You can eat them.
But you say no hook. Why hook?
Oh no, you fold like you take Congo hair from Fly Tyer's Dungeon. You just when you wrap it, instead of cutting it off at the end to stream out, you loop it, and their teeth get caught in that because their mouths are too hard for a hook to go into because their mouths are all bone. So their teeth have to get trapped into that fiber.
Oh.
And then you've got to open their mouth up. They make a special tool to open their mouth up. And then you reach in there and you
see.
you
Interesting.
get all the hair out so they can still go ahead and eat and live. And it's a dude.
You gotta have some strong Congo hog
Wow.
hair too, right? Get all those fibers to hang
That's-
on
Well,
tight.
I think with the Congo hair, with what I've talked to the mad scientist, it's a matter of amount. Because those Congo hairs are strong, but basically the bigger the
Okay.
fish, the more hair you want.
Yeah.
Because it's going to hook on multiple individual teeth, and you just and
Okay.
there's a tool that I saw. It's a gar tool. I can't remember what but you put it in there, and it basically keeps them from biting down. And then you just take your scissors and then the fish can move its mouth, and you let it go, and they can live out of water for like 45 minutes. I mean, they're like a dinosaur.
Yeah. I want no part of that. I don't want
Yeah,
no
you
gar
do.
fishing. No, I'm good.
That's crazy.
Oh, they're nuts. And then bowfin. Bowfin or another. Have you ever
Mhm.
caught a bowfin?
No.
Man.
Oh, those are nasty.
Yeah.
You catch them the same way. They're like a grinnell. I think a bowfin is a grinnell, depending on where you're at in Missouri.
No kidding.
Yeah, but they're gnarly too. But I'm wanting to go after all those gnarly fish this year. Pablo, do you have a plan this year for a fish or a fish on a rod you want to catch?
Oh yeah, bonefish. I need to. Bonefish has bastards this year. I got one this year.
So, Pablo, we're closing in on
Those
the end of the-
assholes go through my feet and they won't eat.
I love it. This delay is like a blessing in disguise on
Those
the
bastards, man.
We start to talk and he calls a fish an asshole, and then we're trying not to laugh so everybody can hear it. Oh my god, Pablo. I do a really cruddy job of it every week. Go ahead and give us your information so how people can buy a Bejuco Flats Fly Company rod.
Wait for it.
Oh yeah, you can look at me on Instagram or Facebook, and just tell me what you want, and that's it.
Instagram and Facebook, Bejuco Flats
It's
Fly
easy.
Co. Guys, I'm telling you, I know what you're thinking about buying a custom rod, but I'm telling you, you can get. I know Pablo does Sage. I know he does TFO, especially the TFO mangroves, which are incredible rods. I mean, and then you can get a Moonlit, you can get an Epic, you can get, you name it, you want it, from fiberglass all the way up through the top of the line rods. This guy's going to build you a rod that you're going to love. I mean, a friend of mine casted mine one afternoon and bought one. I mean, this is not a joker. I mean, he's got rods from every company and he's like, I want one of these. This is not a joker. This is not something that you're listening to this podcast and I'm pushing it out because he gives me money. Well, maybe, but mostly because I love my rod. I mean, I absolutely love it. It's the only rod I keep in my truck. It's like every time I go, it's in my SUV. I've got the one weight no matter what I'm doing. And it's the only one that's always rigged up. just because of where I'm at. I know I can catch a fish anytime, and I know it's going to cast right every time. And Adam, we're going to have to get you one of these, no doubt about it. But guys, check out Pablo at Bejuco Flats Fly Co. Find him on Facebook, find him on Instagram,
Yep.
message him. Let him know what you want to do. Follow him and read the reviews. I mean, he puts up reviews that guys send him all the time. And I've got to write a review for him, but I don't know if anybody would believe it. Because it's such an awesome rod. How are they? If I sit there and just say, this is an awesome casting rod, I wanted a long one weight. My 2-weight is shorter than my 1-weight. But I can cast this thing like a dream.
Yeah.
You know, and I know Adam wants one of those mangroves and a 4-weight. I know that's what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that mad cash. He's going to pony up. He wants it with pink, orange, and green alternating threads.
We didn't even talk about this. I don't know how you knew all that.
Adam, I know you, buddy. So, you know, and we got to do some house cleaning real quick. Pablo, I want to thank you for coming on. We're going to do some house cleaning real quick, if that's all right with you. I know you guys listen to the show.
Of course.
And
Thank
you
for having
guys
me.
know Bejuco Flats Fly Co. is a great sponsor. Stonefly Nets, Cutthroat Leaders, and Tennessee Trailers. But we have a very exciting thing to tell you. Dooley's Fly Fishing, Dooley'sFlyFishing.com, 15% with promo code Kayak. Starting in, I think it's March, Adam and I will both be getting 2 of the 4 Fly Medic kits. And so what he has here, he has kits that he sells where you can tie flies. He has a beginner and advanced to saltwater and warm water. And Adam will get 2 and I will get 2, and we will be on the Kayak Flyer YouTube page and on the Dooley's Fly Fishing page on YouTube, tying these flies. And you guys can vote. And I'm going to tell you what, every time I win, I will give somebody who leaves a comment voting for me, I will draw those people out for a free cutthroat furled leader.
Man.
If you
You're
vote,
already bribing people.
if you leave a comment for Adam, I'm going to charge you $15.
Well,
It's a rigged election already. It's a rigged election.
No rigged election here, Pablo. But Adam and I are very excited about this, and we'll probably wind up getting something sent to Pablo if he wants to really show off. We can probably get one sent to him. And guys, this is a really big opportunity for you. I know that with COVID, people have been home. Fly tying has gone through the roof. Share this episode. You can download it wherever you download them. We had a hiccup with Spotify for 2 weeks. We're back on Spotify. Everything is back together. We're on YouTube. We're not doing Facebook Live anymore, but we're still sharing the YouTube link to Facebook. And if you're listening on the regular podcast, share with your friends. Email us at kayakflyer@gmail.com. Let us know. We're drawing out for leaders every week. I sent 6 leaders out in the past 3 weeks. 2 leaders because one person was like, oh, I saw this. Did I miss it? And I'm like, yeah, you missed it. But guess what? I'll go ahead and send one out.
Yeah.
Because I'm a nice guy. You know.
Yep, you bet.
Contrary to what Pablo says.
Even though he has to rig the vote, he's a nice guy. But I'm pumped for this. This is gonna be it's a good thing with Dooley's. I'm really excited about this. Yeah, should be fun.
I think it's gonna be awesome, and we're gonna be throwing as many cutthroat leaders in there as we have to throw those out, and we'll put it in the description, free leader or no free leader. But please like and subscribe that. Share the podcast. Share the Facebook page, facebook.com/kayakflyer. Just get this stuff out there for us because we've got a lot of great sponsors. And the Stupid Simple Fly Tying guys, you're our army. You guys are there with us. You comment on my posts. You comment on Adam's posts. You comment on Pablo's posts. We try not to advertise a lot on there. But that's 29,000 people that we have right there. Mm-hmm. And we've got some big things coming up. There's a new podcast that's going to be launched that I think everybody's going to be really interested in. And one of the deals was they had to plug our podcast in every episode. So is that rigging the election, Adam?
That's something I can get on board with, though.
Yeah, maybe Gink and Gasoline will throw us some listeners.
It is.
But guys, check out Pablo. Great guy, wonderful guy. Call him on the phone. Tell him what you want. You can have it any way you want it. Always built to order. Always custom made. Satisfaction guaranteed. Absolute wonderful guy. Stonefly Nuts, Cutthroat Leaders, Dooley Fly Shop, Tennessee Trailers, Outdoor Adventure Trailers. Guys, Adam is going to be trying to tie against me. This is going to be awesome. We'll get Pablo in on this on a couple of these. It's going to be killer. Last word, Adam.
I'm just looking forward to kicking your butt with it, just like I did in all the other previous Fly Time videos. So hope you're prepared.
I'm not. Pablo, you want in on this bet once in a while?
If it's not rigged, I'm in.
Well, Pablo's obviously out. This is Sean Adam and Pablo. We want to thank you guys listening to the Kayak Flyer podcast. It is totally rigged. We'll talk to you later. Have a good night.